Both boys acquired eczema or atopic dermatitis when they were about 6 months old, and it progressively got worse and worse and worse. We had been living in the New York area, going to, I have to say, hundreds of doctors, and nobody seemed to know what to do to make it better for them.
Our eczema experience was a lot of different doctors with a lot of different opinions. That one doctor would say 2 baths a day, another doctor would say 1 bath a week.
Many doctors told us, oh, they'll just grow out of it. But I was concerned about now. You know, they had no quality of life. They sometimes needed to be carried around because they couldn't walk. Teachers sometimes had to write for them because they couldn't hold the pencil in their hand. It was a daily struggle, and they were not growing out of it. It was getting worse.
To put it in context, I fought cancer 12 years ago, and that was an easier battle to fight than this eczema with our kids.
The children and I and Brian had very poor quality of life. The children were not sleeping. They'd wake up between 2 and 8 times a night and needed to be tickled or scratched back to sleep every single time they woke up because they weren't able to go to sleep on their own because they just ripped their skin apart.
And so we would get 2 hours, it was almost like having infants. And only our kids were 4, 6, 7 years old. They couldn't fall asleep on their own, so we were constantly up all night long, and it was very difficult. There's no 2 ways to put it.
It was itchy, bloody, it hurt. I couldn't walk sometimes. I couldn't write either. It was really bad.
It was a daily struggle, but we knew that somebody had to know something. We were not just going to roll over and let our kids suffer like this. We were determined to find answers.
When I played sports before the hospital, it hurt a lot.
I was trying so hard to make them feel better. And I had Ari one night scratching his whole body, saying, "Mommy, I'm so itchy. You said you were going to make it go away. Why is it taking so long?" And it just broke my heart because I was trying so hard. We all were. And it was so frustrating.
The psychological effects of eczema are really, I'd like to think that they're not lasting. It's more of, it's the psychology of dealing with the disease when you're most vulnerable, when the kids are struggling and when the skin is just bad and you can't cure it and you can't find an end.
My older son Noah was 8 years old before we found National Jewish. When we first got to National Jewish, we had our first meeting and they asked us what we wanted to get out of this trip. Immediately I said, I want to give my kids their life back. It was almost a dare. I didn't think in a million years that they could really do it, and they did.
Once we got there and we saw the system, and literally within a few days we saw results, and our kids were suffering immensely, and we saw that suffering kind of melt away in a fairly rapid period. So that was endearing and fantastic to see, and it was almost as if it was too good to be true. We had to kind of step back and say, hey, you know, maybe this is just, they're doing something special here, and it's going to change when we get home. But they had a solution that's worked for us now for 2+ years.
They really do work together and try to get every piece of information you have about your child and try to fit it together almost like a puzzle to get you the best care and the best results in the end.
They put wet socks on me and the wet pajamas and made my skin all better. Now I can play baseball, hockey. I can go fishing. Now I could go in the ocean because now it doesn't sting us. My life is really fun now and great.
Now I think, they're so happy and they know that we tried our best. And they're the real heroes in all of this because they suffered for so long needlessly. I'm so proud of them for everything that they've gone through.
In general, to get through and overcome a malady like that, I think it builds some character to you. I mean, as a small child, you should be waking up joyous, It's hard to be in pain all the time. We felt that weight our kids had on their shoulders, and we see them now, and it's a world of difference.
We'd really like to get the word out, even in our small way. I feel like we owe the hospital. We want to do right by them. It's a wonderful place, and it's really given us our life back.